coming out from Na'Vi actually was already on Soul. And then we're going to have the first ban for Tribe, which that got players you got to adapt to because of how good they are on specific pickups. So, of course, you talked about Darius, how good it is, one of the highest base stats in the game when it comes down to also AD early on. Make it Challenger. So what I understand right now is that I almost feel like 90% of the the game community is currently Challenger from the likes of it. As I think it's Leon. How many accounts does he have Challenger? I think he's got like 4 Challenger accounts.
The last I saw, I knew it was 3, but that was a couple weeks ago, so it could very easily be higher than that at this point. But the Yasuo does come through for the side of Tribe. I love this composition they've built. They have so much engage, and even if they do get engaged on, they have so much peel for this Jhin to keep him alive and keep him safe on the back lines. This is you're going to hear ease of execution, and that's basically just talking about the fact of how difficult is it to do what your team comp wants to do. And for the side of Tribe, it is press your ultimates at the same time and you win a fight.
It's just as simple as that. It really is. The amount of knock-up CC from the Cyclone, from the Pulverize, from also the Explosive Cast coming out from Leon on this Gragas, it's astonishing, really, that all of that amount of CC was able to make it on through. And Yasuo was left until the very finishing moments. You would have put me in that draft for Na'Vi, and I would have seen the Gragas, I would have seen the Alistar, with him like, okay, we have to go for that Yasuo, otherwise giving it away, we're just going to get CC comboed way too easily. So this is definitely Na'Vi. They are going to be a little bit stressed out, but they do have a composition that does have some inherent peeling, especially thanks to Mumu on those Blade Callers, which could be really important to buy a lot of breathing space for them. Great Grand Entrance coming on through from Juicy, going to get a little bit of extra damage onto both Friend and Doom. But at the end, this is going to be a very interesting game, I think, for Na'Vi as to how do you approach this game? Because if Tribe just gets slightly ahead, their composition is just going to steamroll every single engagement.
Yeah, and this early game, again, it's so important normally, but doubly so when you have one of these massive combo compositions like Tribe has secured. Looking down towards what's currently the Dragon lane, we do have Garen on that Akali that you were talking about, Max. So going to kind of get to see what this player is able to do here up against a Gragas. Gragas is actually a great matchup against Akali because he has so much durability and can kind of deal with that poke. If Akali tries to all-in him, he can use the body slam to either counter-engage or disengage, whichever he decides to go for. So I actually really like putting the Gragas up against the Akali.
Yeah, because most of his damage is AoE based too, so that Twilight Shroud is actually not going to be too much of a safe net for that Akali, though. Doom going to go for the engagement to Juicy on the top side. He will be able to survive it, but maybe trying to go for the re-engage, though. Frame going to try and turn his tide. The Blade Call is going to be there, and that's first blood going to have Mumu, sorry, should I say. He's got himself also that barrier, so he's going to be able to soak up a bit more damage. It's going to be a trade-off thanks to Emperor Duck joining the fight last second. So it's going to be one-on-one for both Tribe and Na'Vi. But at the end, the first blood, that's going to be an extra 500 gold straight into the pockets of Mumu and Xayah. If she's able to scale early, she can become a really big scaling threat if you allow her to just get in a really safe spot every single fight.
Yeah, great job there by the side of Na'Vi to get that first blood, able to win out. And again, another good answer by Tribe as well to bring Emperor Duck up in order to make sure that it is a 1-for-1 trade. Because if Duck wasn't there, that's just 1-for-0, and Na'Vi walk away with that victory in the lane. So good job by both sides. But like you said, first blood going on over and also getting another kill on Leon here in the bottom lane, as it is Reaper recognizing, hey, Emperor Duck's top side, we have the opportunity to make a play here on the bottom. They do just that, get the kill, and now they're getting a ton of damage on this turret. Should actually be able to... Nope, they're going to back away before the next minion wave comes in, knowing that Leon's about to re-arrive to this lane. So no turret taken just yet, but that is very, very low.
Hey, still 2 plates at the end. That's going to be some rather big gold coming straight into their pockets, trying to go for the root. Doom not able to hit it. I feel a little bit bad for Doom because Doom has been an amazing Xayah player in the last few days. So that's going to be a pick taken away from him. I haven't been able to see him play on Jhin too much, but you also mentioned this going into the draft, Hasty, about the CC potential coming out from the entirety of Tribe is going to bring so much peeling, especially for Doom to just stay super, super safe into the backline, get those roots down potentially, and also go for the curtain call to just snipe from a distance. I think that this is a composition in which Jhin will thrive heavily, But for that to happen, you've got to make sure that the enemy team, especially the assassins, are mainly looking at this Akali played by Garen, and also Ghost Reaper on this Lee Sin, making sure that they do not scale enough, because if they do, Doom, despite the amount of peeling on their team, he could still struggle heavily, purely based off the lack of mobility that Jhin struggles with quite a bit.
Yeah, both bot lanes going to be recalling as Dragon has just spawned. And so you expect to see it anytime there's a double lane swap, especially. The recalls come through for the Dragon. Both teams going to be getting out with a very strong start here as first items completed for both of the, or for two members on each side of the board. As now, here we go with Dragon being started up by Tribe. Members of Na'Vi have to find a way in. Lee Sin is a great way to do so, but Alistar makes the engage.
Oh, the CC combos are there. Also going to be having the explosive cast, going to put everyone out of position, but the Blade Caller is going to be immense for Mumu, and he's actually able to survive versus Snitch. Snitch not able to get that shutdown, and this is going to be big for Na'Vi. They dominate. They pick themselves up 3 kills. It's down to Friend and Snitch alone, and now Tribe, they can't do much against this Dragon take, and they're going to go instantly for the pickup. Man, the engage was just so clean initially for Tribe, but because they were not able to find those kills instantly, it was a nice comeback opportunity going the way of Na'Vi.
Yeah, great job by Na'Vi to answer. And they did that without the Rakan ultimate as well. That is a huge tool to counter engage or engage for yourselves. And they didn't even have to use it. They were able to just survive that initial engage from the side of Tribe and just completely turn that fight on its head. Get themselves that first Dragon of the game, as well as a couple of kills. And they're going to be looking pretty darn strong here now with the gold on the Akali as well. Garen picking up 3 kills for himself through the first 5 minutes of this game. That is a terrifying sight to see.
Yeah, he's set 3-0 already. He's got himself his first item, and he's looking to get himself in a really, really comfortable position. A bunch of first items already getting purchased around the board, so this is going to be looking great. Also going to have the Liandry's purchase for the Orianna, so that token is going to be a little bit more relevant with the burn damage following up after those engages. But especially, I got to say that we've been seeing some great Blade Callers from Mumu. Going to get rooted on down. Maybe a golden opportunity for Tribe to go for it. But unfortunately, they are not going to commit heavily, especially that Dragon Kick. Being available for Ghost Reaper, it basically denies that entire situation from happening in the first place. So they're just not going to be overzealous. They're waiting to pop all those ultis. They're going to go for Herald. Picking on down, and I know that Akali's just not there. She doesn't have a teleport because it's so early on into the game, so she can't join up on this one. That's going to be potentially a very easy pickup. Redemption comes on through. It's going to be a Redemption steal. Not quite, unfortunately, but there you go. Ghost Reaper dives onto Snitch. Going to be flashing on forward and going to be finding that kill eventually. And this is Tribe still taking some severe damage. Also, Shockwave coming out is going to be able to save Ghost Reaper, but smited away by the cask eventually. And this is going to be another dominant fight for Na'Vi. Going to go for the engage onto Doom. The Blade Caller could be big, but gets bumped right under the tower. What a play from Friend. And now is going to be also the nice snops. The snipes coming out from Doom from a distance. The 4th bullet will not be able to connect. But that was a lot of back and forth in this fight initially. But still, I would say, because of that Herald going the way of Tribe, they still come out on top because they can use it later on as extra pressure.
I don't know if they come out on top, because while that was happening, Garen, it goes into the bot lane and takes down the second turret in the bottom lane. So a great heads up play by Na'Vi, not only going relatively even on that team fight. Yes, they lose out on the Rift Herald, but Rift Herald gets you a turret, and Na'Vi traded it with a turret of their own. So that is pretty much a wash at that point in terms of the Herald. And so the kills going their favor, or Scar actually was 3-2 in favor of Tribe on the kills overall there, but I think still a very favorable trade for the side of Na'Vi, is now they're looking to engage again.
Straight onto Leon, going to be going for the backside. Reaper not going to be able to get Leon as he flashes to safety. But yeah, I'm really intrigued because I was not able to see that second tower. I was so focused on this fight up top, and those 2 towers are just so worthwhile. Great place from Garen once more in that split push kind of scenario. The next Drake is going to be Infernal, so very important for these 2 teams to potentially try and pick up for themselves. But we're only just 8 minutes in. You already have up to a 16,000 going towards a 6,000 going towards a 7,000 gold lead in the hands of Na'Vi. So they are looking set, and they are golden. As Garen going to have to move away from that spot, making sure he doesn't get collapsed upon by the composition of Tribe. But especially here topside, we're seeing Mumu going to go for a little bit of a push. He could be looking to take down this tower. Xayah does that pretty well. And Lee Sin is there to follow up too in case a collapse and a rotation happens for Tribe. So this is just the macro, and the map pressure from Na'Vi is looking so strong that I've never seen them play like this before. But I'm loving the change.
And meanwhile, in the bottom lane, it was actually Snitch getting a lot of damage down onto Garen in the 1v1, but Garen goes back to base, ends up picking up some extra items, building towards a Leandries. So going to have that little bit of extra burn damage on top of the burst coming out from Akali. And it's always interesting to see, how players decide to build the Akali. Some of them do go for the Leandries to have that little bit of extra burn damage. Some of them just go for that, I can't remember the name of the item, but it's the orb that lets you do extra damage to targets that are low on health for those assassination attempts. But here we go.
Straight for the Drake, secured away by the Wukong with a smite. Nicely executed, but there they go. Yasuo, one-man ulti on top of Juicy. Not really the target he should be aiming for. Now Tribe, the health bar, they're going rather low, but also similar for Na'Vi. They're going to go for the re-engage, but Na'Vi, all the kills are just going in the palm of their hand. Tribe down to only Snitch. He's trying his best. Flash to safety, but is not safe whatsoever. And that is an ace. Oh my god, the control is just so good from Na'Vi. They're looking so different to what they did in week 1, and now these are potentially 2, even maybe 3 towers, as these respawn timers are rather significant at this stage of the game.
Garen just has so much damage in these fights. He was able to put down the Shroud right in the middle of the team fight, but there's not really the massive AoE that you would expect. Once they use the Wukong ultimate and the Gragas ultimate, he's able to just navigate inside that Shroud and just do so much damage. Goes in, throws all of his abilities, sits in the Shroud, waits for cooldowns, and then is able to just chunk someone else out immediately. Really great play on this Akali. This is the Akali that we were talking about in match number 1, that we were saying can just absolutely take over a game. We never really saw it happen in between Queso and Footballers, but it is absolutely happening right here. 5-0-3 on the Akali here. 10,500 gold, by far the gold leader. I mean, look at the highest gold on the side of Tribe is 7.2k. He's over 3,000 gold lead just himself over any individual player on the side of Tribe.
That's one item. That's one entire item difference there, or at least close to it. So he's looking golden though. Ghost Reaper, well, you doing over there, mate? Luckily, he is Lee Sin, so not too much of an issue for him to make his way through to the Baron Pit and stay alive, but still a little bit of a risk. He's going to be taking 50% damage in that entire encounter. Next one, especially Drake, is going to be Cloud Drake. Should be up in just a few minutes, so it could be interesting for Tribe to get that under their control. But Garen going to go for the engage. They're feeling confident, but they did not know Leon was right around the corner, and now he's going to go for the engage. Curtain Call coming out. Going to be able to bump him backwards with the explosive cask, and now what you want to do. This is the comeback opportunity for Tribe to pick the players of Na'Vi down one by one, and now they got the man advantage. They might be trying to give a shot for this Baron.
A lot of shutdown there on the Akali, but now here we go, looking for more picks.
Body slam flash coming out from Leon. That was really well executed, but the 3-man shockwave once again. That is so well played, and that is going to be the easiest ace I've ever seen for Na'Vi. Tribe not able to make anything happen that fight, and now they're just marching proudly through the mid lane, maybe taking down the extra inhib tower, and the game maybe not quite just yet, but that inhib tower is for sure going to fall.
That was looking so good for Tribe, and then Na'Vi says, call an ambulance, but not for me, as the massive shockwave shreds. Yeah, they got this. They have so much damage. The Nexus falls very, very quickly in Wildrift, and the respawns come through, but not in time. Na'Vi just push their way into the base and take down the Nexus. No Garen. Estimated Tribe.
They just lined up perfectly, and it's like, well, he's the ult there. I'm just going to go for the shockwave, and it worked out amazingly well for him. 4-0-11, an amazing KD for Oriana for sure.